I'm Stephanie. I'm going to be talking to you today about experimental research. And the reason that I decided to do this subject is because I am taking actually a research class, and we were getting into some of the history of the experiments and how they had such a great impact on all the regulations and the process of being able to do that now using human subjects. I want to talk to you about the Tuskegee experiment, which is the experiment that was used to implement the voluntary consent that has to be done now to be able to conduct any kind of research with human beings. It was done in Macon County, Alabama. They used 600 men. 399 of them had syphilis, and 201 of them did not. They wanted to look at the history of syphilis in African American men, and they wanted to see if there was any difference because of their race, basically. There was no treatment at the time, but later in 1947, they did come up with penicillin, and it should have been used to give to the patients, and it was not. They did not administer any medicine to them whatsoever. It originally was a study that should have been done within 6 months, and it ended up lasting 40 years. It was funded by Rosenwald Charity, and because of the Great Depression, the money ran out. So that is what ended up taking the study so long. It was 40 years, and there was a Dr. Clark that wanted to keep the study going, and so they did. Susan Reverby, a lady, did some research on the experiment, and back in 2001, CNN broke a story where she brought all this to light and showed that there was a doctor by the name of John C. Cutler that was involved with Tuskegee, as well as another experiment done in Guatemala. This consisted of inmates, soldiers, and mental patients, and they were intentionally giving a venereal disease. And unlike Tuskegee, they did receive treatment. It was because of these experiments that we now have regulations that involve the involuntary consent. It has to be a process done through the Department of Health, Education, and Welfare, and any research that is conducted must go through the Institutional Review Board. And I think that's good, because if we're going to go to the future with, better medical and any type of other research, we must have regulations and we must follow ethical guidelines. President Clinton did apologize to the victims of Tuskegee back in 1997. He did say that it was a racial and a shameful event, and I would like to leave you with a quote done by him that I thought was good and that was deserving of the victims of Tuskegee. The people who ran the study of Tuskegee diminished the stature of men by abandoning the most basic ethical precepts. They forgot their pledge to heal and repair. They had the power to heal the survivors and all others involved, but they chose not to. Today, all we can do is apologize. So, thank you.